Okay, how do we do this in WebGL? So we have a vertex shader. So we're going to add some matrices to our vertex shader. So we've been talking about having a point times a matrix gets a new point. So here it is. So here's the point we pass in. This is the one we define in JavaScript. Here's some matrix that we're going to use to do our transform. And then we're going to tell GL, okay, our final position is this. So these matrix transforms, we're going to put this inside the vertex shader. So in our JavaScript, what are we going to do? We're going to define some matrix. Here it is. Here's a matrix. This one looks like it's a rotation matrix. You don't have to define these matrices by hand like this. You have a matrix library which can define these matrices for you, but you could define them by hand. And then we're going to send this matrix to the GPU. So we've used this command before, right? Get a uniform location and then GL uniform. We used uniform float or uniform bool before, I think, right? But now you have uniform matrix. So we're going to pass this whole matrix into here. In this case, this matrix was defined as a float 32. If you're using our matrix library, there's going to be a dot elements stuck on here. And then we're going to draw our arrays. And we now have access to this matrix inside of the vertex library. So this is how we're going to get the matrix in there. Here's the example of how you're going to do it. So you can use this matrix 4 that we have in our library. And then we can do things like call set rotate. When you use the set, it's going to put the matrix to be the rotate matrix. So no matter what it was before, it's going to set it to R. When you leave off the set and you just say translate or just say rotate, that means right multiply. So here we have a right multiply of a translate to the rotate. So this is what we have in our matrix here. Here we're sending it to the GPU. Here's our dot elements. This is the syntax to get the float 32 part to send over. And then we do our draw. And then we're going to have access to it up here. So this is how we get our